Yes, Andor is worth watching. You should definitely go watch it immediately as soon as you get the chance. I'm gonna be so real with you. I do not think we will ever get Star Wars at this level ever again. It encapsulates all of the political elements that Star Wars is really about in an effective and entertaining way. Cassian's entire story from the first season all the way to where he ends up in the second season, all of it starts as him being a bystander in how he became radicalized into becoming a rebel because the authoritarian government that he's under just has these giant claws and it has this giant reach that is inescapable no matter how insignificant you are. It reaches everybody in every corner of the galaxy. It is so good. It is so ridiculously good. Even though I want to tell you guys the things that happen in the show, it is one of those things that even if I did tell you, the build up to those things makes those things worth it more than the reveal itself. Whereas when you watch Star Wars, if you somehow didn't know that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, that reveal, no matter how invested you were in the series, that's still a huge moment for you to be like, whoa, what the heck? That's a huge plot reveal that, the main bad guy is XYZ's father, it's Luke's father. This crazy. There's not really anything like that in Andor, but the things that happen, the character deaths, all of the events that happen, the build up to them, and then the payoff to them is really what it is. It's not like the rest of the Disney Plus shows where they're throwing in nostalgic elements every 2 seconds, to fire off the neurons in your brain. It's a really slow burn that has significant payoffs and really, really good themes. And it sucks because Andor is such a great show, but it's such a great show that has the label of Star Wars on it. Even on this poster, Star Wars is ultra tiny because Andor really is so much better than virtually anything that we've seen with Star Wars in the last 10 years. It has those core elements of rebellion. I don't know, man. It's one of those shows that just comes around once. I don't know how often, bro. It's just so good. The writing is some of the best that I've ever seen. There's very few things with this show that I actually have genuine gripes about because it's so well written. The cinematography is really good. The use of practical sets is amazing. Virtually everything in this just looks amazing. Tony Gilroy and the entire team that did this show, bro, they deserve all the awards. I don't think this show will beat out Severance for most things because I think Severance was just way bigger and it's easier to access because, like I said, this is a Star Wars project. So a lot of people, especially I'm sure some of you guys watching this right now, you're probably thinking, Brett's probably right, this show's probably good, but it's Star Wars and I'm not really into Star Wars. And that's what really sucks because this show is so good. And I think a lot of people might misconstrue the hype around this show for being good as Star Wars rather than it being good on its own. And what I've been trying to tell people since the first season came out is that this show is good on its own. It's not just good as an extension of Star Wars. If you pulled all the Star Wars elements out of it, it would still be a good show. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I can't really say the same thing with Mandalorian, Ahsoka, really any of the modern Star Wars stuff that we've seen. I can't say that for any of it. But Andor, 100%. When characters in this show take action, if they kill somebody or if something gets blown up or all these things, in most other Disney shows it would be oh, it's just part of the action. In this show, similar to all other good television, when a character dies or when something big happens, you feel the weight of that consequence and it's echoed in all the characters and the entire surrounding plot. That's good writing. That's what happens in Severance, Succession, Andor, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Characters and their decisions actually matter. It's not just somebody dying for the sake of somebody dying or, action for the sake of action. All of the things that happen, every line that's said, all of it has purpose to either affect other characters, affect the plot, affect the overall, world building, everything. Everything has a purpose and every line is perfectly crafted by each character to either reflect their own motivations or to try to get other characters in line with their thinking, etc. There's so many different things that this show does well, and I could talk about it for hours. I don't want to get into spoilers, like I said, but if you've not seen this show, I beg you to give it a chance, bro. Because Andor is what Star Wars should be, and I fear we're never gonna get this again. I'm so sad to say that. If you've seen Rogue One, you should watch this show. Cassian Andor is the secondary main character in Rogue One, the movie that came out in 2015, but Andor is his entire backstory into how he became radicalized into joining the rebellion. He goes from someone being indifferent to the rebellion and the Empire, he becomes radicalized through how all of the Empire's actions affect him in his daily life and like everything, and you slowly see like how he gets to the end point of him eventually being the person that helps blow up the Death Star. And it's so good. It's so good. As someone that hasn't watched any Star Wars, should I watch or will I not know what's going on? I would recommend watching Rogue One and A New Hope first. Those are the only two movies you kind of need going in, and even then you don't really need them. If you wanted to start watching Andor, you really don't need a whole lot of context. All you have to know is that like the Empire came about, like, you know, it's been reigning for, I don't know, like a couple decades-ish when this show starts, and it's very authoritarian, and they have like a really big grip on the entire galaxy. That's all you kind of have to know. And all of like the space sci-fi elements, you can kind of pick up through everything that happens in Andor. You don't really need a whole lot of like background context. And the great thing about Andor is that, like I said, compared to the other Disney Plus shows that exist, this show isn't doing the whole like, ooh, do you remember this? Ooh, nostalgia guy. Ooh, this person. Ooh, you remember this? Like, it's not really that. Andor is very much centered around like building its own characters as their own characters. You guys know me. I shit on things all day, right? I love criticizing things. I love being like, yeah, this fucking sucks, right? I love doing that. But at the same time, we have to have a bar of standards for us to be like, yeah, this is good. Because if everything that I say is all negative all the time, then where do we go from there? If I'm only saying things suck, then realistically, where is there to go from there? We have to make sure that we acknowledge when things are good too, because this is fantastic, and this show deserves all the praise that it gets. It's so well written. I can't keep saying that, even though it's like the main thing that I can say, and you won't get that until you watch the show yourself. Give it a try. Even if you like Star Wars just a little bit, it's worth your time. Like, Andor is one of those shows that like, it like weirdly gave me hope, because I was like, yeah, I'm done with Star Wars, like forever. Or like after like Mandalorian season 3 and like just all the other slop that had come out just in recent times, I was kind of done. And I'll be real with you. When the show first dropped, I actually didn't care about it that much. I'll be so real. I didn't care about it that much when it first dropped because I watched the first couple episodes and then I dropped it. And then it wasn't until I came back and I was like, wait. And then I watched the whole season. I binged the whole season in a day. And I was like, wait, this is incredible. And then, you know, I waited for like 3 years to finally get season 2. And all of season 2 happened. And bro, especially episode 8 of season 2, bro, some of the best fiction I've ever seen in my life. Andor does this incredible thing where it touches on delicate topics that are very real world while still existing in like sci-fi. It does a good job of handling heavy subjects while not like trampling on them or mishandling them. It's so good. Like I can't even really put it into like full words without spoiling anything. It's so good. Go watch it. 100% go watch Andor.